round of applause.
2 step forward and Mawati. 2 step forward, Mawati. Boy. High Sukudachi. Right. Keep it out, come out, eh? The left step forward. Moving Oisuki. Eight. Lead. Set. She. Go. Reku. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Chuke. Nyoi. High Sukudachi. Right. Zenko Sudachi Gidembre. Come out, eh? Keep it that you come out in. Left and forward. I get okay. Ready?
I will not be able to accept your kind invitation because of other inescapable commitments. Please convey my very best wishes to the members of the organization, and I also recommend that you keep us abreast of your activities. Yours sincerely signed through the Gestor Prime Minister.
A guest speaker, and I can talk on any of the two subjects to be talked about by some of the very good speakers here. And that is to talk on the theme national self-reliance and development. And the second theme topic is improvement of people-oriented governance. So that is that I can talk on any of them in respect to this invitation to the 18th Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe commemorative event 2014. And so I thank you all for coming and for making it, even though I think most of you came very late. I was here 10 minutes to the time so that the event can start on dot at 2 o'clock. But I know you'll have all sorts of excuses to say my church didn't finish until late, that's why I'm here late. But
can we give him a round of applause?
Only glaring opportunities to self-aggrandize. According to former President Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia, one of his contemporaries, Zeke was one of the founding fathers of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, now renamed African Union, together with Presidents Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, Tubman Lode of Liberia, and Ahmed Secretary of Haiti. He further observed that as the Habinyan crusader of African unity, Zeke displayed exemplary virtues in being his brother's keeper. His vision of a united and strong Africa became the tonic which many African countries needed to come together and liberate themselves from the shackles of ignorance and backwardness. As the leader, he rose above the typical to a statesman concerned with the good of his fatherland. His philosophical ingenuity marked him out among his peers as a political prophet, thinker, and a moving encyclopedia, the pride of Africa, and the quintessential orator of all times. Hearing Zeke at this point is imperative. As a young man, Mr. President said, and I quote, I saw visions of Nigeria becoming a great country in the emerging continent of Africa. Visions of Nigeria offering freedom to those in bondage and securing the democratic way of life to those who have been lulled into an illusion of security under colonial rule. Many of those visions have now been fulfilled. Nigeria is free to walk out her own great destiny and free to show the light to peoples of Africa everywhere. That is vintage book of Africa. End of quote. Zeke was a detribalized Nigerian. His faith in oneness of Nigeria was never shaken, and his wisdom was on the order of Solomon. These qualities placed him in an unequal pedestal, mystified him before the people of the extent that many thought that Zeke could never die. Hence, a lot of us were not surprised that Zeke died twice, resurrecting once from the ashes of unmitigated rumor mongering. However, even in death, Zeke lives on, because at the mention of his name, passion is evoked and nostalgia established. As a young boy in the village, I was inspired and motivated by the myths, stories, and feats associated with the great Zeke of Africa. He was a colossus. Even illiterate old men and women of his time would excitedly exclaim that Zeke has spoken again. While he holding the newspaper upside down. We were told that Zeke had the key to the river Niger. Indeed, one legend had it that it was Zeke who successfully confronted the great mammoth in the Atlantic Ocean, whose activities caused the overflow of the ocean banks in Lagos. The stories of how he acquired his mythical powers, the Tea Party in London, and his disappearances are evergreen in our mind. The simple message in all these tales is that Zeke existed above the comprehension of his generation. He transcended generations and thus became the political Ebele masquerade, whose appearance announced the end of any festival. Interestingly, I share a name with this great legend of our time. Azikiwe, my other name, has evoked so much emotion, just as it has inspired hope, courage, determination, commitment, and even tough times. Until his death, Zeke was a strong believer in one Nigeria and a resurgent Africa. He was worried that the nation built out of their sweat and blood was facing incessant violence and military coup. Instead of us
within a simple theoretical construct, Azikiwe, Gowon, Jonathan. Let us look at Azikiwe as an objective. Gowon as the first means to that objective, and Jonathan as the second instrument. What do I mean by this? From 1960 to date, Azikiwe is synonymous with vision and consensus building. He is a compromise builder, and that is the blood flowing in his veins and capillaries. And in this case, as a man of vision and consensus, what happened was that then came a Yakubu Gowon, who will always fight a war in which there will never be a victor and a vanquished. He obtained the consensus, the compromise, and on this basis, that's why we have been between going on with one Nigeria. Now, you also have the Jonathanic administration. Goodluck Jonathan is again sustaining the consensus, the compromise, with his transformation agenda. An illustration of this is simply the national compact. He told them, please build consensus. So Zikism has been expressed in a multidimensional form from 1960 to today. Therefore, there is a need to commend the organizers and to conclude by saying that please let us continue to Gowonize Nigeria while we Azikiwe Africa. When I say we continue to Gowonize, it is simply because of what we have all been saying, that nationalism, patriotism, united Nigeria, we cannot do away with it. Yes, it's not a fact accomplished. Therefore, at the domestic level, we must continue to go on with when we want to Azikiwe Africa, just remember the meaning of Azikiwe is very simple. The letter A simply means any. Z means Zikist. K simply means kindness. I means in. W means welfare. E means effort. So in a sentence, when we want to Azikiwe Africa, just tell them any Zikist inspire kindness in welfare effort. Thank you.
Make a statement. Are we there? I think it's okay.
Come along. After the late Dr. Azikiwe died, do you think his legacies have been sustained in
Now, you answer the question yourself. Okay? You've heard what I've said, so use that one. Okay? Use that one.